It's not much to talk about because of everything is there within you already. Just a matter of we do it or not. We do it for the purpose of our own sake. All of us here, coming here, we have only one purpose of become happier. And the only tool to bring us to happiness is being mindful. Mindful in every breath, mindful in every action. And from there, it brings about opening the new dawn into the nature of this physical body and the mind. And we gain the wisdom, the understanding of what we are in terms of this body-mind. From there, we have a new perspective of no self. And from this perspective of non-self, the mind becomes equanimous. And from there that we taste the taste of happiness. It's fairly simple when we said it, being mindful. There are only 6 things in this composition to be aware about: the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body sensation, and the mind. That's all. That's all there. And we don't overlook such a thing, because every moment of being mindful can be a real awakening. I mean, just a splash, just a flash of awakening can change you from this to this right away. And we truly feel that life is so beautiful. The perspective becomes inclusive. It's not exclusive as localized self like we used to. Everything out there trees, rocks, oceans, people, we actually feel just like part of us. And there is no way that we can harm because of, we cannot harm the tree because tree is part of us. We cannot harm a rock because rock is part of us. And we cannot harm the people because the people are part of us too. That's how powerful a moment of awakening is. At first, at the beginning, it seems like that we practice for the self-realization. Of course, that when we begin, we do it for our own benefit. But gradually, the self-benefits become the inclusive benefit. It just open out. It just naturally open out. I took off a couple of days, came back to see my relatives, my brothers, my sisters. It has been a while. I talked to them, but I never seen them in face-to-face, especially with my nephews and nieces. And some of my nephews and nieces, I did not recognize them. I saw them maybe 10 years ago or so. Now I look at them, I could not recognize them. Then they have to tell me, oh, this is John, this is Amelia. Then I recognize that. Time has changed everything. It has changed them from a little boy, little girl, into a young man, young girl. And of course, I'm getting old. But the thing is that the mind doesn't get old at all. Just the same old mind. Recognition, knowing, still there. The quality of knowing is still there. Never changed. But the body changed a lot. I try to understand them. So I talk to each of them. Each of them have, each of them has his own interests. He go and such, and thus reflected that when I was young, I had the same thing. But none of them mention about having an interest in happiness. They all want to finish school, they'll get a good job, have money to buy a car, which is what they wanted, and such. But again, they never mention about happiness. Of course, it's part of life. Until that one realizes that happiness is the crucial thing in life, then one will return to find a way to achieve that. And I'm sure that sooner or later, I'm quite sure that each of us, sooner or later, will return to the same goal, finding out what happiness is, because that's the purpose of life. Two kinds of happiness. The mundane happiness, which is that just like today that I found out that I get health coverage and I felt kind of happy for that. But that is the mundane happiness. The other one is the unconditional happiness. With or without health coverage, if I'm still happy, that is unconditioned happiness. By which, if we can let go of everything, let go of the identity of Yakbam, the identity of being a monk, even the identity of having nothing. Egotism is very clever. It works in many beautiful hidden faces which we don't realize. Sometimes, sometimes it's said that being nobody, being nothing, having nothing, but that is still a face of egotism. How can we recognize such a thing like that? Being mindful. Mindfulness opens every possible door that has been closed by us. Once that we open all the doors, then right there, the unconditional happiness is at stake. Of course, we're not like such a great beings like Buddha, like Christ. Such being, they truly in state of happiness 24 hours. But here, if we really pay attention that we are in short periods of happiness all the times, which we don't recognize it. And that short periods of happiness, if we keep practicing, we can prolong it. Maybe from 1 moment to 2 moments, and then 5 minutes, and then half an hour, a whole day, and such and such. It truly feels really good. Sometimes, practicing Buddhism means aiming for enlightenment, aiming for awakening. I don't know much about enlightenment or awakening. but being mindful moment to moment. That moment of mindfulness is awakenment. You stay awake. In that mental awaken, there is nothing going on. There's no sad, there's no anger, they're happy or no love or hate. It's just a state of equanimity. That's all we need. We don't need to look further that to be an arhat, to be in the Buddha state, such and such. No, there's no need to. Just being here and now, awake every moment, as of right now. Go back, check your own mind. Is there something else other than being equanimous right now? There's nothing. That nothingness is awakened. That nothingness is unconditional happiness. Sometimes the word happiness, you refer to something that excited you, cheers you, and make you want to jump. No, it's not. It's very calm, peaceful. It flows. Day by day, we experience that. Is there anything more than such a mental state? No. That's enough. This body, when it's hungry, we just stuff some food into it and it doesn't ask for anything more. And this mind too, so does the mind. When there is no agitation of mentation, there's no agitation of mental afflictions. That's it. That's it. No expectation. Just the calm and flowing, peaceful. Plus, now, it's not an ignorance. In that state of equanimity, there is a loving quality, caring quality for others. You can check it out. It's just something that how can I help? How can I serve you better? Such a thing that keeps coming into the mind because of making others happy makes us more happy, and then because of being more happier, it makes us wanted to do more for others. So it's just in the return it becomes beneficial more and more and more, and therefore the person, the no-self person, they just want to do something in benefit for others. Just like that I'm in charge of the kitchen, and I always encourage all the people in the kitchen that, all the cooks in the kitchen that, please serve them the best of the best, because of they are the Buddha to be. You are all Buddha to be. Very soon you become Buddha. It's not. It's just the word. You are a person of free of everything. I would prefer that, because of when I label you as a Buddha to be, sometimes the mind have an imagination that you're gonna become a Buddha, something just like him up there. No. Be awake, be mindful, don't underlook the mindfulness, because from there it's gonna open all the possible doors. And then life becomes so beautiful, and we deserve to give love and to be loved, because of such a quality that existence. So the art of meditation is that we do one thing at a time. If you work, you pay attention to work. If you are here, sit and meditate, you just do the meditation. If you walk, you just walk. If you listen, you just listen. That is the art of meditation. I know it's hard sometimes, but the people that can do it, so can we. It's just a matter of put in a little bit of effort. Every day, just give it a little push. Try to be awake. That's all. And the tool of awakening is already available within us. There's no need. Sometimes, earlier I was thinking that if we can master after mindfulness, then we don't have to be here, because of out there in the car, you're mindful. Walking out of the car, you're mindful. Walking into the house, you're mindful. Laying down on the mattress, you're mindful. You're mindful until that you become deep sleep. And the next day you come back. Next day you wake up being mindful again. That's all. That's what we do all day. And in return, it's going to be a lot of abundance. So just be mindful. Very soon, all of us will become happier, will will become free from the bondage of life out there. Any question would you like to share with, please? Yes.
Is watching comedy show and laughing, is this happiness?
I'm sorry?
Watching comedy show, comedy kind of show in the TV.
Oh, TV, okay.
And laughing a lot, is that happiness?
Oh no, it gives you a temporary entertainment because of the punchline that makes you laugh. But that is not the happiness that we're talking about. It's just like that. I'm giving you an example that when you help your relative, you feel happy. Yeah, that's a different happiness already. And then when your mind in state of equanimous, it becomes happy. That's the higher noble happiness. And then you understand life, you understand the totality, the whole spectrum of what mind is, what this body is, you become happy. That's one kind of happiness. That's higher, happier. Please, Marcus.
Yeah, I was going to add to Western, ways of thinking, or maybe society way of thinking for happiness is more like wealth, fulfillment of ourself, more of a self kind of, material, money, fame. And I guess the way, if you follow, the teachings, then happiness should be more of like a wholesome feeling. We benefit, others benefit. You do a random act of kindness to somebody. That's a wholesome happiness. But in our society, we're taught too much, work harder, play harder, accumulate wealth, accumulate material. So I think it's interesting that, we have to step away from what society is telling us to do and on our own figure out what really makes us happy.
Yes. We can say that famous people like Robin Williams, Whitney Houston, they have a lot of money, but I don't think they're happy, and therefore they use other means to make them happy, or it's really weird. I've read the news every day, and a boyfriend who was mad at his girlfriend for some reason, and he took her child, 4 years old, in the middle of the bridge, and then he threw the boy into the water. That's incredible. How could the people can do that to the people? Imagine that the man that met the girl, at first he was happy to see her, he was happy to engage into a relationship such and such. But why it has become such a terrible thing that he did that to the girl's boy? Incredible. So, just like Marcus saying that we don't rely on the external objects to make us happy. We rely on our own selves, especially in exploration of the body, of the mind, to make us happy. Of course, that when I see my nephews and nieces grow up, I know that I'm getting old. And this body is no longer used to be like in my 20s anymore. But I'm happy because I understand the nature of impermanence. This is what it is, what it's supposed to be. And first, I'm content with it. And then I progress deeper that I welcome whatever is coming. I broke my clavicle bone a few years ago. Now it turned against me. It gives me problem in the morning a lot. But since I understand the nature of this body, so I don't complain much. Just like that, almost, I don't complain at all. Sometimes if you look at me sitting up here, that you see that one shoulder is lower than the other because of the broken clavicle bone right here. So when we understand the nature of the body, the nature of the mind, what's going on, and we accept it, it becomes, non-burden. That is one kind of happiness too. The mind doesn't complain much. No, it doesn't complain much at all. It's just being content. So keep practicing by being mindful, study what's going on, and it brings us to a different level. Like I said, we become recognizing that life is so beautiful. Anything else? Yes.
Yes, I had a comment about the TV comedies that you mentioned. So back in the 1960s and 1950s, there was a very famous American journalist and commentator. His name was Norman Cousins. Is anybody familiar with him? Norman Cousins. Yeah, it's all a different generation. So, yeah, many years ago, he was very, very famous. And now nobody even knows who he was. Anyway, Norman Cousins came down with a terrible illness. He had a kind of a chronic illness. His doctors could not figure it out. He went to over 20 doctors and they couldn't figure it out. And so what Norman Cousins decided to do, he started watching TV and he would watch comedies. And he started watching the comedies that really made what you would call a belly laugh, like, really laughing really hard. And he got a lot better. And he thinks that kind of cured him, more or less, because something with his mind, and I don't know exactly. But anyway, it's a very famous story. I mean, it was a very famous story. Norman Cousins is a very famous American.
one of my nephew. He's only 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old. But he contracted a rare disease that until now that nobody can find out what it is. And he's only 5 or 6 years old. So, haven't understood what's going on. Haven't understood that having this body, then you cannot escape such a thing like a disease or such and such. When we understand thoroughly such a thing like that, such a terrible thing, just like my nephew, then it won't suffocate you much because it's part of life. I am using the slogan, the word part of life as a slogan every time that I come to the something that hard to swallow. But actually it's everything is part of life. You say everything that you can say that's out of life. No, everything is part of life. Understanding that is a wisdom, a deep wisdom. From there that you have a joy. Oh, another thing coming into life, huh? Yeah. Of course that we all hope for the best to the boy. We all do that, but we also prepare the worst to the boy. But that doesn't suffocate us as much because we understand. And by understanding, we achieve that understanding by being mindful. When you understand yourself, then you understand others. It's very easy, fairly easy. We all have the same mind. My mind, your mind are the same, but it's working in different combinations. That's all. That's all. That's all. Very easy. So, anything else? Yes, Daniel.
Thay, where did you travel to visit your family?
In Virginia.
Huh?
Yes, I have 4 sisters. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and their families there.
And I'm sorry your shoulder still bothers you. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, wow. It has been quite a few years already.
I'm sorry.
Oh. I remember that while I was in ICU, they gave me, the painkiller, but I never took it. Tough guy.
Why did you decide not to take the painkiller?
I think that I still endured with the pain. I still, I feel okay with the pain. I don't know, the degree of being okay varies, from each person. So they gave me painkillers. I did not even take a single dose, a single pill. No, just let it be. Completely broken a clavicle bone here and broke 4 ribs. So it's part of life. See that I use that slogan as my medication.
I want to think. I don't think we have time today, but you mentioned Zen meditation in Vipassana, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, meditation, and maybe another time, you can explain
The
the
differences.
similarities and the differences, and
Yes.
explain more about those
Yes.
two.
He's very good in Vipassana.
I did only once. Even I don't practice now. Only I come here. So.
It's a different approach, that's all.
Sure,
But,
maybe you could explain more about that.
yes, but at the end, the achievement is still the same. Yes, being free of the self. Yeah. Anything else? May us all achieve the happiness, the unconditional happiness. That is the purpose of life. When I was 13 years old, I thought that I have that question: what is the purpose of life? And now, almost 50 years, now I found out that the purpose of life is happiness, and I try to achieve it. We all being here try to achieve it because of for that happiness. We feel that we deserve to live because of we are an element making benefits to others, and that is the way life should be. Thank you.